I'm now live on streaming. Yep. Might need your help with a certain trial when I get there. No, it's not Heaven's Wall. No, I'm still on ARR. It's Niberalis. I'll let you know when I get there. Okay. Welcome to Pod 38. Now the fun begins. Oh, there he is. Yeah. Let's go and speak with Menfilia. Hello, Menfilia. I am most eager to address the Asian threat, however, we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. We both know full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with Ishgard is still tenuous at best. To think that the resolution of the primal threat was once the sole priority of the Silence and Servant of Dawn. Some days I wonder if it was wise for us to take on so many other responsibilities. Lest you forget, accident, the Scions need not shoulder the burden alone. Were not the crystal base established for this very reason? True, we are presented with a multitude of problems. However, we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Mino, in particular, is ever a steady hand, who I trust will continue to support the Braves. No. To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been further developments regarding the situation in order? As expected, the Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of their highest-ranking officers was a Guardian agent. Suffice to say that Talegi and his monetarist ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation to their advantage. Coupled with the ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard pressed. Plainly, General Raban needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Blaze to offer what support they can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue executive orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time travelling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it would be best if I were to remain in Udar unless you have any objection. No? You can go anywhere you want. Blew out of sight. None whatsoever. We have matters here well in hand. Breeder's research is proceeding as planned. So she tells me, though I am not familiar with the details. Urianjo is poring over his tomes at the Waking Sands, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Alas, the key problem, how to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unsolved. Nevertheless, it is only a matter of time. Mino, while we focus on that task, mayhap you can assist Alphino and his braid of their hairs. Well, it would do much to restore faith in the Immortal Flames of the Warrior of Light will see working on their behalf. Never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound to organisations and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. Oh, nice of her. Is that an order? Not that your response was ever in doubt, I humbly thank you for once more for aiding our cause. Now then, there are preparations I must attend to before my departure, such as receiving Roll's latest report. He has proven to be quite skilled at gathering information, otherwise others wish to keep secret, hence I placed him under my direct command and ordered him to investigate the dark riots. When you are finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I may soon have favours to ask. If there's any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in the usual fashion. By telling me to pray return. That's the usual bullshit she sparks out. It's like, pray return, pray return, pray return. It's like, alright, pray return my foot up your ass. Pleasure as always, Mino. We will be escorting the commander to order, I take it. Actually, I have another task in mind for her. If you would be so kind to repeat your report on her behalf, on her benefit. Right then. Me and mine have been making inquiries into the source of the weapons that found their ways to the refugees' hands a ways back. So happens we caught wind of something promising, rather a large purchase of sharpening and pointy things by a black marketeer holed up near High Bridge. I doubt this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons if he did not already have clients waiting. Clients that, for whatever reason, would prefer for this transaction to remain secret. Okie dokie. Brings to mind that merchant was caught with an arrow between while talking to Mino, don't it? Generous fellow he was, doling out swords and spears to the downtrodden and disgruntled. Which isn't to say that these clients have the same mischief in mind, but if you sure want to be sure, might be prudent to intervene before they collect their goods, savvy? Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike against the pointed arrow, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his clients. What say you, Mino? Then it is settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbred at Highbridge and intervene when the exchange takes place. Now then, if you would excuse me, I must leave for order. I expect a good tidings. Highbridge, that's... yeah, Mino Muscats have been keeping a close eye on the black marketeer, and it would seem his guests have arrived. It would also seem he has also hired more than a few men to stand guard. Common thugs with no consequence, but they nevertheless pose a threat. Even so, I feel compelled to apologise. This is far beneath the woman of your standing, and Commander Levy and neither have dispatched you. But powerful men ever having the need of loyal or able-bodied friends. Having found one in you, it is only natural that he would come to your arm without hesitation. bait and switch. Now then, we should make for the burning wall without delay and secure those weapons. The first unit will ensure that the clients do not escape. With me, Mino. I spy the one man, but there are sure to be others. I have a plan. While you approach the sentry, create a distraction. My men and I will slip past and catch the black market outlays. Once you've disposed of the thugs, wait for us outside the tunnel entrance. Any questions? Then let's be off. Good luck, my friend. Who goes there? An adventurer? Damn fool, you should have never come here. Boy. Oh, you a cocky fucker. Be? Huh? Ultima Fool. Oh. I don't understand. What's this all about? Grrr. He died. As you can see, this is a fine mess. When I tried to restrain him, he drew a hidden blade and lashed out. But before I could disarm him, one of my subordinates panicked, and then this is the result. How foolish of me to underestimate the bastard. To bring an inexperienced recruit. Commander Levier will be most disappointed. Damn it all. Golden opportunity wasted. As for all the clients, though we know not how they slipped past our perimeter. At present, the first is currently tracking their party at dusk-bright sellswords. A party as we suspect may be them. Would we have enlisted the aid of the immortal flames of the brass blades? Alas, we are here to aid them. They're in no position to aid us. Well, at the very least, we have secured the weapons. Yet even the accomplishment is lacking, for the information we received indicated that massive shipment is anything but. Best laid schemes. I will join the first in the hunt for the dusk-bit sellswords. If the gods are good, we'll catch them before they escape into the Black Shroud. In the meantime, I ask that you deliver these weapons to Uldar in my stead. Trust them to the third prefers you has. He will take care of the rest. The Warrior of Light, ever reliable friend to Crystal Blade. You have my deepest thanks for your assistance in Corvus. Now, what brings you to us this day? Some weapons. A gift of weapons of a certain black marketeer, courtesy of Captain Ishgard. Understood. Once we've catalogued the contents, I'll have them delivered to the Hall of Flames. This can't be everything, can it? Roll stated that with confidence there would be a far greater quantity of weapons. Blatant falsehood. Clearly Roll is unfamiliar with the ways of Aldanian merchants who only strive to present themselves as greater than they are. We should be thankful that this information was not completely anonymous, and we managed to achieve anything but of worth at all. It's still something worth celebrating, isn't it, Lieutenant? Besides, we've got more important things to worry about, like fighting those Guardians up north. There will be no fighting if I have anything to say about it. Our orders are to stand and watch, not to seek glory for battle. If you have no further need of us, I shall take my unit to the Ceridian processing plant. Time for the fourth to earn their keep, huh? Quite well, Anna, for the freedom of all. Excellent work as always, my friend. Rest assured that the Immortal Flames will hear of your contribution. Till we meet again. Certainly salute you, do. Mino, a word if you please. Not here. Look for me at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. No need for whistling this time. Don't worry. Don't you worry. Thanks for indulging me in request. Few places better than the market for privacy, I find. All the hustling and the bustling of commerce makes most conversations go unnoticed. I'll get to the point. At the Burning Wall, when you and the captain interrupted the exchange, what happened? Tell me everything. No, leave no detail out. Well, I heard a scream. Somebody said "La," and he was dead. That's not quite how the first told it. The dust rights they were chasing. Latest word is that we lost the trail. But you never saw them yourself. Not before the fighting started, and not after. Something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it in my bones. I'm not daft enough to be misled by some merchant's drunken boasts. Our information was reliable, gods damn it. I know he purchased those weapons. As if I've never deciphered a money lender's books or had to follow a transaction back to its source. Did plenty earlier back then when the blades were getting started. Believe me, the commander waited and wanted assurances that we weren't taking gil from the wrong sort of benefactors. Of course, these days money flows like water, and the first and the third get the shiniest new toys. Forgive me, friend. I have a lot on your mind these days, and I appreciate you lending an ear. Right then, best get back to it. Mino, can you hear me? It's Tataru. Your presence is urgently requested at the Rising Stones. Please come and see me as soon as you are able. Yay! Pray return to the Rising Stone. Wow. Tataru, what do you want? Thank you for coming so quickly, Mino. I have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you, a most determined lady by all the occasions. The rising clouds. Our guest is in the academic and in the solar at present. Let's not keep them waiting any longer, shall we? Yeah. See ya.
We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. I believe the two of you have met.
We have. I had hoped to speak with Commander Leveilleur as well, but I cannot afford to wait any longer. The Lord Commander sent me hither to request your aid in a matter of grave import.
You see now why I had Tataru summon you.
Now that we're all assembled, perhaps you would be good enough to elaborate on the nature of the matter which brought you to us.
The Observatorium's astrologians have sounded the alarm. Last night, the Dragonstar burned with an intensity not seen in 15 summers. Not since the Dravanians engaged the Empire in the Battle of Silvertear Skies.
The northern sky doth burn full bright upon the Wyrm Lord's call. The red behemoth beckoneth, and flame consumeth all.
The old Curthan rhyme, aye. The brightening of the Dragonstar is said to accompany the roar of a great worm. The astrologians believe that it was Midgardsormr himself who cried out on this occasion.
After an absence of centuries, the King of Kings did return to lead his kind against the might of Garlemald, only to fall in his duel with the Agrius, proud flagship of the Gallian fleet. Devoid of life, his corpse remaineth entwined about the Magitech monstrosity even unto this day.
Ariange has the right of it. Whatever this alteration in the Dragonstar portends, the Great Worm has shown no sign of life. Tataru, have the Domans reported aught out of the ordinary?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Midgardsormr had roared, wouldn't we have heard it here in Revenant's Toll?
Roar is but a figure of speech. Dravanians can communicate in ways beyond our ken. It is for this very reason that we are forced to look for signs in the heavens. We cannot say with any confidence that a great worm roared at all, much less that it was Midgardsormr. Only by directly examining the Keeper of the Lake can we be certain. However, it will take too long to gain the Holy See's approval to dispatch the Temple Knights. Therefore, Sir Emric would entrust this task to you. Do you accept?
Of course I do. I'll go and
We
speak
knew
to
you would not
Midgardsormr.
disappoint us. Now, if you
slap
would
him.
excuse me, I must return and assist the Lord Commander. We have precious little time to prepare.
To prepare for what, pray tell?
When a great worm roars, his brethren cannot choose but answer. We prepare for battle.
Kill the humans, make it. Kill the humans. Forgive me if I state aught to which you already know, but I would assure that you understand the nature of your destination. As already stated, we know what we now call the Keeper of the Lake as a wreckage of the Argus, former flagship of the Imperial fleet and the corpse of the Wyrm responsible for its destruction. 15 years ago, on the next step of his campaign to subjugate Eorzea, Gaius Van Belsar attempted to seize control of Moldona. So massive was his force that all thought his victory was a foregone conclusion. And the likely ally came from the Eorzean aid that day. Midgardsormr, legendary guardian and the silver tier fools burst forth from beneath the waters of the lake and led a host of dragons against the guardian airship overhead. In what would be later came known as the Battle of the Silver Tier Skies, the Great Worm felled countless airships before engaging the Argus. In the ensuing struggle, the flagship's iridium engines failed and tumbled into the lake below. Yet this victory came at great cost, for the explosion which followed claimed the life of the Great Worm as well. The same explosion transformed Silver Tears into a desolate wasteland it is today, draining the lake of its waters and crystallizing ether for miles around. Yet the remnant of the lake remains at its centre, of a constant reminder of the fateful day long ago. In accordance to Sir Emric's wishes, our Doemian allies have been standing watch over the Keeper of the Lake. It would be wise to speak with them before investigating the wreckage itself. Be careful, my friend. We know not what dangers await you within. Now then, let us not neglect our own tasks. There is much to be done, and precious little time to do it. Okay. Don't remember, do they show the cutscene from 1.0? The fight between Midgardsormr and the Argus. Because it was on 1.0, the actual cutscene, the fight. I'll have to find out. Keeper of the Lake. He's still doing huntering. Yeah, he's going to join. Let's see how long this queue's going to be. Queue for myself and then I'll check off, see what happens. Right, Daemon Watch. You're in luck, miss. I was about to send word to Reverend's told about the Guardians. Of late, there's been small airships likely from the Castian Century come and go from the Keeper of the Lake. Though I cannot say for certain at this distance, but I believe they may be salvaging something from within the wreckage. Castian supply lines were cut for some time, and I wager they're desperately in need of spare parts and other equipment. Why don't you say something, you a-hole? So it's true then. These Guardians honestly fear that the worm might rise again. Well, from here it seems rather unlikely. But if there's any insurance, if it's insurances they want, there's no choice but to inspect the corpse in its entirety. Easier said than done, given the creatures which inhabit the wreckage, and their aforementioned Guardians won't take kindly to your presence. They shelter fire upon an airship, so I advise a more stealthy approach. Take this boat and a few of your comrades to the base of the Argus, then climb to the top. That's the only viable approach, I'll say. Keeper of the Lake now, accessible. The final level 50 dungeon. Okay. Enter with other players. Join. Average wait 12 minutes. It says 12 minutes. Okay. Yeah, no. You're gonna get the trial down. That's alright. I can always enter it with NPCs. So, Diamond Watchboy, how long have you been here? Level 50, yeah. You're crafting. Yeah, well, it depends on what we've got to do for them. You know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna go with NPCs. Support. Yeah. Going with a party of NPCs. Fuck it. At least I can experience the dungeon at my own pace. Such sun keeps us awake. Pick a room. Numero 1. Handa. Okay. I didn't do it, it was for me. One good thing about doing it with NPCs, you get to learn the mechanics of the dungeon. Because they know where everything is. Let's go. Kill me. I don't want to kill off this. I will kill you. The thing about this, I'm going to think about Kibble, like, it's not very long done. Well, you weren't expecting an airship, a gunship. Well, when you're working with me, mate, you can expect to see a lot of shit. Comes with with working with the warrior, right? I'm a bit annoyed with one thing though. These stupid NPCs don't have their job stains on. Can't work with such stupidity. Did I burn it down too quickly for your liking? More of a challenge than that. You fuckers. You are cocky fuckers, aren't you? loyal Bass. Here we go.
Who treadeth now upon my bones, and waketh me from slumber sweet? Remember, mortal, and fear me.
He's a very angry boy, old Jasmine. Yay, he did. He did! Haha. Sweet. Cutscene time.
By her gifts hast thou earned a moment's reprieve. Speak, mortal, and I shall listen.
Did you roll?
Guided by a star. My people have heard the song. Ishgard shall burn. Sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. We do not forget. We do not forgive.
That's not right, man.
7 children did I sire. One now singeth of retribution. I rise to join in the chorus. Thou art powerless to silence us, mortal. Yet thou shalt not live to labor in vain. Thy reprieve is at an end. Trickery is thy shield. This frail, ignoble creature is not gifted, but chosen. Hearken to me, Hydaelyn. I remember, and I consent. Fear not, mortal. I shall not harm thee.
Okay. Oh, mushroom or Jasmine. I need your help for the virus. Yeah. Well, shit. you do, Midgardsormr?
Mayhap thou thinkest me an oath breaker. Thou art mistaken. If thou comest to harm, it shall be by another's hand, not mine. I did but strip thee of thy mistress's feeble blessing. Thou didst profit much by her grace, but no more. The covenant binds me to thee. I shall watch, listen, and wait. Fight and struggle, if it be thy will. Man hath ever coveted that which lieth beyond his grasp. I drink of her body, and thence doth mine own find new life. When it hath grown whole, the loyal and penitent shall rejoice. The dragon song heraldeth our beginning and an end.
I was beginning to feel the worst. Most of those explosions. I see. But you shouldn't waste time talking to me. Atheno left a message stating that you were to return to the Rising Stones at once. I am a popular person. Many chocobos. That must be incredibly stinky out there. Stinky! Let's press on. I'll face the 12 on my own. Praise the 12 that you are hale and whole. I came as soon as Minfili informed me of Sir Emmeric's request. You have completed your investigation of the Keeper of the Lake, I take it. Then I would hear your report. Oh, it's not good. You converse with Midgardsormr. I swear, if there were anyone else to make such a claim, I would regard it as a considerable skepticism. We are to understand that the Wyrm Lord did not perish, and then soon lay dormant these past 15 years. Less there is resurrection, more of a regeneration for he who dwelt in eternity, years passing as moments. Though his words were ambiguous at times, one statement left little room for interpretation. My people have heard the song, Ishgard shall burn. Clearly an attack is imminent. We must share this information with Sir Emmerich immediately. However, we dare not divulge your conversation with Midgardsormr in its entirety. To even acknowledge that you have heard the voice of a Daravian is a grave but unnecessary risk. Lest we forget men who have been executed as heretics for declaring such. For your own protection and for the sake of our tenuous relations with Ishgard, the truth cannot leave this room. As for now, we shall present your revelations to Sir Emmerich's emissary. You may leave that to me. Pray remain here for now. Is there something else? Something you're not telling us, Mino? You seem different somehow. It is almost as if you're missing something important. 12 for Fend. Midgardsormr stripped you of the blessing of light. Are you alright? How do you feel? I feel okay. I see. It is a relief to hear that you are otherwise unharmed. It beggars belief that any being could possess the power to deprive you of her blessing. Midgardsormr made mention of a covenant, did he not? One of the ancient myths regarding Silver Tearfall states that when the waters came into existence, so did the great worm. Altark and Nemenia, brother of time and sister of fate, decreed that Midgardsormr ever watch over the source for which all water and magic was said to flow. I wonder, what if this covenant was of which he spoke? It was not the gods but whom he treated, but hiding in herself. Well, if he's watching over you as he claimed, mayhap you have an opportunity to ask. Let us keep this matter to ourselves. We do not wish to burden our friends needlessly. Art thou a pawn or master of thy fate? What hast thou wrought by thine hands, mortal?
My friend, I can scarce believe it. You confronted the Wyrm Lord and lived to tell the tale. I give thanks to Helone for your preservation. It is our sole cause for gladness. Your encounter with the Keeper of the Lake served to confirm our fears. A great worm has roared, and it makes little difference if it was one of the two in Eorzea or any other. The Dravanians are coming.
I am told that Ishgard has magical defenses against Dravanian attack, though I am not privy to their exact nature. Will they be enough to repel a massive force?
Ishgard has weathered countless assaults over centuries. This will be no different. And now that you have confirmed the threat, none can ignore the Lord Commander's calls for the wards to be strengthened. I dare not presume to speak for him, but I expect the Lord Commander would sing your praises. I must away, but we shall meet again soon.
Ta-ta.
Countless assaults weathered, and this will be no different? Why am I not convinced?
Why aren't you convinced? Not my problem. These guardians have warred with the Durranians for centuries, nearly 1,000 years. During that time, not once have their enemies breached the defences and entered the city proper. Yet regardless of how strong these magical walls are, these walls may be, I nevertheless fear that these guardians are underestimating the gravity of the situation. Though it's not Midgardsormr who is bored, a call to arms by one of the first brood cannot be ignored. Until such time as they've chosen to request our aid, however, we can do naught but to observe the situation at a distance and pray that our fears are unfounded. Ether on demand. How's X4? Here I forget, I believe Moonbreeder has requested a gathering of the Silence. I assume there's been some progress concerning our efforts to combat the Ascians. Pray inform her of our business with these guardians is concluded. For the moment, I shall be along once I complete my communications with the Crystal Braves. All done with your talk of the dragons. Wonderful, because the Ascians are next on the menu. As I head into the solar shell.
Now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon. I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Well, don't keep us all in suspense.
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know. So, an Ascian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the ethereal realm when its host is defeated. Instead, it flees to the place that lies between our world and the void. Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Ascian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that white auracite has adequate capacity to entrap the beings, albeit only briefly.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
Aye. To unmake an Ascian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Short of experimenting on an actual Ascian, you see, there's no way to gauge how much ether its soul is made of. As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether. Hang on a minute! Why didn't we think of this before? White auracite can hold an absolute heap of ether, can't it?
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as though I'm reliving the same scene over and over with you. How many times do you need to be told that white auracite cannot store ether for long periods? Being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
Right, yes. It's all coming back to me.
So our hopes rest on good old crystals again, do they? While they are certainly reliable, they leave something to be desired in the area of portability.
Indeed.
I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove that a similar quantity was needed to destroy an Ascian's soul? Or still more?
I do not envy the poor sod who has to lug all of that around, on the off chance that an Ascian appears.
That's the very problem we set out to solve. And I reckon we've found the answer. If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source. And the only viable source is the land.
If you mean to tap the great river of ether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Mordona.
Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land? I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, there is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A malm away, say? If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea. I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
If you think it worth your while, you have my blessing. But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
I thought you might say that, but no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit more hands-on. I've already built an etheric siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out. Thing is, the profusion of corrupted crystals in Mordona makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether. Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Has something happened?
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum. During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength. Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Castrum's sentry. They now seek to rebuild, and to this end they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant. Having lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men. Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals. Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go. Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Ascians will next appear.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
Though you have become a crystal brave, you are yet a scion, Alfino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thangred and Papalimo shall accompany you. Ida and Yashtola, in the meantime I would have you assist Moonbreeder. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Garlean threat has been eliminated.
If it please you, I shall continue mine own experiments on white aurosite.
Thank you, Arianger. Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you are able. Go well, and be safe.
It would seem that the Effin events have once more conspired to rob us of the rest and recuperation. Though I wish it otherwise, I may ask that you head straight away to the processing plant. The fourth is already deployed in the area and await the arrival of the Scions. Wilfred will brief you on the developing situation. Meanwhile, I must rendezvous with Captain Ilbert and our headquarters in Utah. I shall take command of our forces there, one with the lighter heart, knowing that you will go to support the Falcons. Your duties take you to Northern Fanland, do they not? We too must say farewell to the Rising Stones for a while. For the Minion travels to Udar, we shall serve as her escort. At my daughter's behest, I shall contact certain old acquaintances in the Gilded City. We are beset on all sides by civil unrest and imperial machinations, threatened by primals troubled by dragons. We need all the allies we can muster. Many of my friends hold positions of power, you see, and it is my hope that they can be convinced to aid the Science cause. Past events I have taught us anything that we know that Eorzea must present a united front, or we shall fall. And how extraordinary that my little Celia is involved in such far-reaching affairs. I am proud that I might now stand at her side, not only as a mother, but also as a colleague. Colleague with influential connections, but I fear that Uldar has become a place of danger even for one so familiar with their streets. Bah, woe betide with the black guard that so much declares in your direction, milady. I shall be well protected, it seems. Shall we be on our way then? Right. Commander Levy sent word that you'd be coming. A veteran of your talents is most welcome. I don't think we can handle the situation, mind you. I've learned a trick or two since the disaster over the margin. but returning to the task at hand. The Flames reconnaissance scouts have reported the Imperial soldiers assembled in a Robards push. Such a force is likely interested in only one thing, getting their hand on the resources found here at the present. The Guardians should begin marching at any time. Pray speak with Lieutenant S. Elston. We might coordinate our counter strategy. In the meantime, I will inform the others that you have arrived. No doubt it will be a welcome time. Lieutenant Achaia, my soldiers yet to tell tales of your deeds during Operation Archon. Would it be that we'd sit a while and reminisce of battle times, but I fear more pressing matters require our attention. Civilian draftsmen, you see, I've come across several highly suspicious quotes within the boundaries of the processing plant. I have my sappers take a closer look, and our worst fears are confirmed. These boxes contain powerful explosive devices of Imperial design levels. By my order, the Flame Station here are conducting a thorough sweep of the compound as we speak. Though it troubles me that we are unable to apprehend the Imperial spy behind us, I have faith that our men will be able to neutralize the threat from now. Meantime, our scouts might bring troubling news of the latest movements of the Imperial army. I would once again ask for your aid. On the counter-offensive. We have been keeping a close eye on the Guardian garrison, which the Imperials have finally begun to mobilize. According to our reconnaissance report that just came in, the squad seems leading the cash and only a few numbers and effective to take and hold up position. It will likely mount a swift assault and focus on the acquisition of resources. I have, of course, also shared this report with Crystal Blaze, and they decided to take the field to meet the assault head-on. I have apprised your fellow science of the situation, and I am heartened to know that they will be joining the effort. Pray report to Lieutenant LNA and lend your much welcome strength to the counter. Glad to have you with us, Mino. As I'm sure Lieutenant Elston has explained, Guardians have deployed a small force from the Cast Iridium. Their main column assembles to the north near Danamode's talons, and we have spied several squads attempting to conceal themselves on the approach to the west. They wish you to rush forth and commit to battle with the main column, leaving the detached force free to raid the plant and pillage supplies. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men. Captain Gilbert. Greetings, Science. I understand that the commander bid you and your fellows come to lend a hand to the Braves. We shall mighty heroes at the disposal of the fourth shall have little trouble continuing the Guardians might throw it. But even you cannot be everywhere at once. The third was getting restless, holed up and all dark, so I marched them out here to fill any holes in the plant's defences and add to their numbers to the counter-attack. Reinforcements are welcome. We have enough soldiers now to divide our own forces and safely engage the enemy far beyond the walls. Aye, it would be best with was staging a battle anywhere near this much as Iridium. Let us take this fight to the Guardians. A wise course indeed. I shudder to think of any consequences that should any of these stories takes be exposed to fire. If there's no objections, the Science shall join the fourth and get battle to this main column. You're with the third then, warrior, right? Your job will be to intercept these squads hiding out in the west, prevent them from reaching the processing plant. When you're ready to proceed, report to Lieutenant Udahas and his scouts. The scouts should have a rough idea of where the Imperials can conceal themselves by now. Pleasure to be fighting at your side once more, Scion. Our operations invariably succeed when you're around, and victories are want to pave the road to greater coin. Now this detached force have been sent to eliminate the split in the small squads. Better to conceal themselves within terrain hereabouts. I imagine I will need to split ourselves up and cover more ground and make sure that we root out all these would-be raids. And seeing as you're an army unto yourself, I assign you your own areas to scour clean of enemy soldiers. This will be a simple search and destroy. We're going to be back here when the task is done. Happy hunting, Simon. I want to ride my chocobo all day. My chocobo. Damn Earth sprite. You seem grim, Scion. I take it that I'll take that to mean that between us, more than a few Guardians won't be making it back to the Castry. These Imperials, though they certainly made us earn our pay, it would be a happy man if they wouldn't have tussle with another one of those magic tech hops. It's time to bid this torn land farewell. I will contact the fourth and let Lieutenant Alinade know the west is now clear. I would appreciate if you would go do the same, then report to Lieutenant Elderstein. Okay, yeah. What news of the Guardians? They have been destroyed, my friend. Their raiding parties are no more. Then, excellent. You heading off, are you? Alright then. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye. The immersion engineers will be most relieved to hear that the plant's no longer in any immediate danger. Thank you again for your assistance. You must be anxious for a word of your fellows, Lieutenant Aid has reported the sound victory over the main column and informs me that the Scions have already turned their attention to other units. All but one, that is, the Rodigan lady with a large axe. It would appear she has chosen to remain at the site of the battle. I know not what tasks keep her from returning to civilization, but Northern Fanalan is no place to wander alone, even for a capable sort such as her. I would certainly feel better about things in the future and hope before you continue on your way.
Hold on, I won't be a second. The beast seemed peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe. I know, as Urianger never tires of reminding me. An axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. To hear my mother tell it, I came into this world holding one. And it's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it? I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea. Him and my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on. The world's a strange old place, isn't it? Aye, that ought to do it. So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if something goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting. Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed? The siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether, which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade. I'm not sure how to go about it just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do.
She senses me. A useful talent.
Anasian, are they onto us?
By your brand, I see you are an Archon of Sharlayan, keeper of knowledge, seeker of truth. Meddler.
I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone.
Your instincts serve you well. But come, be not unsettled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns. But I waste my breath. Let me direct my words to one who understands them. We meet at last, warrior of light. I am Nabriales. And you have long been a thorn in my side. I suffered the overweening presence of La Habrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work.
Oh, bugger.
Do settle down. You must concede that I acted in self-defense. But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light. Oh, dear. Could it be that frail Hydaelyn has forgotten her champion? This I did not foresee. Shorn of light as you are no longer a threat. And better yet, the seal is broken. Now is the time to claim the staff. With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiac's right hand.
What did that bastard want with us?
What's the staff?
Nobrialis, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet. Unconscious. But this staff... You say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day. Must be quite a staff. Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati, Master Louis Soir's staff. Minfilia's in danger. We have to get back to the Rising Stones.
For fuck's sake. Bugger off. Stupid armorants. Quick to save Minfilia before she gets bitch slapped by an Ascian. You're here. Master Louis Soir staff is kept in the solar, isn't it? Quickly now.
You two!
So, you were able to divine my intent. What now, warrior of light? Ah, but that name is no longer fitting. You have become decidedly dull, and quite incapable of barring my entry.
What do you mean?
You truly do not know? Then I suppose it is only right that I enlighten you. The blessing of light kept you and your fellow meddlers safe. It was that which prevented my kind from entering your domain. My kind, I say, though it had no power over the likes of Elidibus and La Habrea. Being of this world, they could come and go as they please, while I could only look on. But I need look no longer. Now that the seal is gone, I mean to act. Unlike the others, I am not given to waiting. I shall take that staff and bring about the next rejoining.
Rejoining? Then it was your doing. The Isle of Val, the scholars, all of it.
You will not harm her!
Moonbreeder!
Why must you insist on forcing my hand? Did you learn nothing from our last meeting? Ah, but I forget. My words fall upon deaf ears.
The staff is but a broken relic, a memorial to the departed. What possible use could you have for it?
What use? You mean to say that all this time you kept the key, never knowing what it was you possessed? The staff Tupsimati, or rather the stone tablet it bears, is host to a great power. Together with the horn,
It can be used to draw vast quantities of ether from its bearer's surroundings. How else do you think Louis Soir was able to invoke the power of the 12 without making them an offering of crystals? Summoning requires not only prayer, but a profusion of ether. Even a child knows that.
If I did not know before, you may be certain I do now. But above all, I know that we cannot allow this staff to fall into your hands. I will die before I let you take it.
Insufferable woman. I would happily end your miserable life here and now. Alas, Elidibus would never let me hear the end of it. Very well. If you will not part with the staff, I will take you too.
After them! Quickly! Before the rift closes!
Well, until I accumulate a party of 7 people. We might be lucky. Don't mean we'll tank it. Where have we been going? It's 2 hours. I think I might have to tank this. Need to go to the meteors as they come down. Otherwise, death will ensue. Just hoping that the DPSs are they have a brain cell between. Sorry about the waiting, but this is pretty much most of the game. Just waiting, and waiting, and waiting. If it doesn't pop soon, I might have to just break this up into another part. But I don't think it's going to pop, and I don't think it's making you sit here and watching me stare at a portal is going to be any fun. It's giving you 2 hours. Another 2 minutes. We're going for the 5 minutes. It says we have to wait. Might do so much. Split this up. I want to get to the next expansion as quick as possible, but right. It's not gonna pop, is it? Oh. It did. Right, I'm gonna lie. Because telling a lie is always fun. He's a bit of a dick, never else. Pretend as if I don't know what I'm doing, but I do know what I'm doing, but I just can't fucking remember what I'm doing. Oh shit. Tanking. He's a bit of a dick. Did I say he's a bit of a dick? Yeah. He's a bit of a dick. I think it's black then red. Don't use it. And to run to asteroids. You'll see them falling on the ground. Anyone's better. Change back to my... Can't do it. No thanks. Okay, good for you. God, yeah.
You're safe. Thank the 12.
You may have bested me this day, but what of the next? What of all the days to come? Remember, light no longer holds sway here. I may return whensoever I wish, again and again and again. Eventually, you will falter, and the staff will be mine. Until next time, scions.
There will be no next time. This is the end.
What trickery is this? No. No! Cannot! No!
Use Tube Samati to gather ether. Quickly, before he breaks free! Concentrate! Call to mind the time you struck down La Habrea with the Blade of Light. Why won't it work? Is it because we lack the blessing of light?
Damn it. So much ether. And it still isn't enough.
Fools! No mortal prison can contain me! I shall make you pay for your insolence!
Please, Mother Heidelin, hearken to our plea. Lend us your divine light. Why can you not hear us? Do our words no longer reach you?
If only we had a bit more ether.
Moonbreeder, what are you doing?
Master Louis Soir, I understand now. The choice you made in death. There is life. Farewell, Urianger. You daft old coot.
Moonbreeder, no! You mustn't!
What?
No! It cannot end! I am eternal! I am immortal!
You're dead.
Moonbreeder. She's gone. You did it, my friend. The Ascian is dead. This device is a legacy of Moonbreeder's toils and sacrifice. I shall hold on to it for safekeeping.
Minfilia, are you all right?
Where the fuck you lot been? Could done with the ether.
I am.
Oh, we were surveying northern Thanalan when we received the distress call. We returned as swiftly as we were able.
You used piss and ether, right?
It seems you have everything in hand, however.
What happened here? Where is Moonbreeder?
She gave her life to temper the Blade of Light. I have no words.
Rather than await the inevitable, she took her fate into her own hands.
Does Urianger know?
My friend, there is something I must tell you.
I heard all, my lady. The moon sinketh, taking her leave of the heavens, yet her passing heraldeth the coming of a new day. Moonbreeder hath fulfilled her destiny, hath she not? Long ago, far across the seas in the Sharlayan motherland, Moonbreeder and I did study under the sage tutelage of Master Louisoix. Full oft did he impress upon us that knowledge existeth to serve the greater good. This sentiment, however, was contrary to the nation's policy of neutrality, which censured intercedence in the affairs of foreign lands. In spite of vehement opposition, he founded the Circle of Knowing, and journeyed hitherto the heart of Eorzea. Through his noble sacrifice was the realm spared its doom. Yet this great soul, whom all should rightly have honored, was branded a pariah in his own land. His peers did accuse him of forsaking his duty as a man of learning, and of meddling in the course of history. When he left Sharlayan behind, Master Louisoix gave no word to signal his intent to Moonbreeder. Close as they were, as master and disciple, she was deeply wounded by the sudden exclusion from his confidence. Above all, however, she was confused. Try as she might, she could ill comprehend her master's motive. The slanders that were heaped upon him after his passing served only to inflame the turmoil within her. For years upon end, she knew not what to believe. Torn as she was twixt the man whom she revered and the man who forsook her and his duty both.
The Louisoix I knew would never forsake his duty, much less one of his own.
This I know full well, my lady. 'Twas not for want of love that Master Louisoix hid his intent. He but desired that Moonbreeder discover her own path, free of the shadow of his influence. Long did I contemplate revealing the truth to her, and long did I hold my peace. After all, was it not Master Louis Soir's wish that she come to the truth unaided? I told myself it was, and resolved to let her suffer. Knowingly did I deny my friend the comfort she craved. And now she hath gone to her rest, with doubt still in her heart. Speakest thou in earnest? Did Moonbreeder truly come to understand Master Louis Soir's will before the end? The realization hath set her free. She may now find the peace which hath for so long eluded her. Oh, Moonbreeder, my dearest, how I shall miss thee.
Moonbreeder gave her life that we might possess the means to defeat the Ascians. Her sacrifice must not be in vain. Let us continue her work on the Blade of Ether and see it to completion.
My lady, I would mourn Moonbreeder in mine own way. I beg your permission to return to the Waking Sands.
Of course, my friend. Take all the time you require. We shall be here should you have need of us.
Never have I seen your angel so utterly defeated. No one should be made to suffer such grief. We shall gather in the shining manner to celebrate Moonbreeder's life and mourn her passing. Well, I don't even know who the hell she is, so other than the one bird that says bugger. In memory of Moonbreeder. As Moonbreeder was a native of Shining, I feel it's not only fitting that we gather before the mark of the scholar. Are you familiar with the stone? 'Tis a monument found of Rafelfrost, and is sacred to Fanak, the guardian deity of the city of learning. There we shall pray for our dearest friend's soul and bid her a peaceful return to the light of the Mother Crystal. Here we are. Crystal Tower and the Keeper of the Lake. I'm looking.
Forgive me, Moonbreeder. Had I been quicker or wiser, but I was not, and you paid the price. But you would not suffer us to wallow in our sorrow, would you? You would tell us to pick ourselves up and get on with it. And so we shall. We shall defend this realm and her people to the last.
Life for death, a fair exchange. Other bargains will be struck.
Oh, there's nothing if persistent. I am no minion. Says you're a minion. Though we have said our farewell, the pale of sadness has diminished. But a little. Forgive me, as accident. 'Tis my job to be a pillar of strength for all the others to lean on. Yet I also believe the grief we feel now is precious to our own, and is not so lightly swept aside. Do you not agree, Mino? Tis as if a dagger had been thrust into my breast. But tis a pain that we must learn to bear, if we are to forge ahead with our duty. The battles we have fought have taken the lives of so many, Wyrm and Breeder, our fellows at the Waking Sands. Their spirit and dedication to our cause, however, will never be lost as long as we rise to fight once more. I hardly need to remind you of this, of course. It is for my own benefit that I repeat these words, for reaffirmation of my own chosen path. If I do not rebuild the foundations of my resolve, I like to collapse, the fit of weeping. My apologies again, Mino. There is no other to whom I could display such weakness. You are my pillar of strength, and I fear I shall need your steadfast presence in the days to come. A victory won, a comrade lost, to honour the fallen, the living forge on, ever towards the light of a new day. Was that it? That's it. Okay. So I'm going to end it there because we're on to before the full part 2, which I'm going to split into different parts as well. Part 2A, B, and C, because it is basically the end of the Realm Born. So there's a lot of content in there, and a lot of cutscenes, and a lot of copyrighted music. Until then. And BHT, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, comments are welcome, and I appreciate the thumbs up as well. And I will see you in part 39 before the full part 2A. Until then, ciao for now. Bye bye.